There are moments in history when people cry out for rescue. Slaves longing for freedom, hearts longing for hope. And in Exodus, we discover something powerful. God hears. The book of Exodus is the story of rescue, deliverance, and covenant.
Through desert flame and midnight cry, your voice broke through the silent sky. Chains will fall, the waters part. Freedom rises from your heart. You lead the way. You make a road. Let my people go.
Exodus is the story of God rescuing his people from slavery. For hundreds of years, the Israelites lived under oppression in Egypt, but God had not forgotten them. Through Moses, God confronts Pharaoh, reveals his power through the plagues, opens the Red Sea, and leads his people toward freedom. Exodus shows that God is not distant. He sees suffering, he hears cries for help, and he acts.
Exodus 3:14. I am who I am.
When Moses met God at the burning bush, God revealed his name. This name tells us that God is eternal. He is not defined by circumstances or time. He simply is, the unchanging source of life itself.
Exodus 6:6. I will bring you out from under the yoke of the Egyptians.
God promises rescue before it happens. Freedom begins not with human strength, but with God's promise. Exodus reminds us that salvation begins with God's initiative.
Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still.
Standing before the Red Sea, the Israelites felt trapped. But God was about to do something impossible. Exodus teaches that sometimes victory comes, not through striving, but through trusting.
Exodus 19:5-6. You will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation.
After rescuing his people, God gives them purpose. Freedom is not the end of the story. God rescues people so they can live differently and reflect his presence to the world.
The waters rose on either side, but still you were our guide. Through the storm, through the night, you led us by your light. No chain can hold, no sea can stand when you command.
Throughout history, Christian teachers have seen Exodus as one of the clearest pictures of God's rescuing power. Billy Graham once said, "God never takes away something from your life without replacing it with something better." And Charles Stanley taught, "Obey God and leave all the consequences to Him." Moses could not open the sea. The Israelites could not defeat Pharaoh. But when they trusted God and followed His direction, the impossible became possible. Exodus reminds us that freedom often begins with trusting God's leadership, even before we see the path ahead.
When shadows fall and hope grows thin, you hear the cries of broken men through desert wind and burning flame. You call your people by their name. You are the God who rescues, the God who sets us free, the one who parts the waters and leads us through the sea. Through darkest nights and rising fear, your pillar of fire is always near. What once was bondage, shame and chains becomes the road where freedom rises. No ocean deep, no tyrant strong can silence your redeeming song. You are the God who rescues, the faithful mighty King, and every heart you set free will rise again and You are the God who rescues, the God who sets us free, the one who parts the waters and leads us through the You are the God who rescues, the God who sets us free, the one who parts the waters and leads us through the sea. When shadows fall.
Exodus reveals that God is a rescuer. He does not ignore suffering. He hears the cry of the oppressed. He breaks chains. He opens paths where none existed. And the same God who led Israel through the sea still leads people today.